The year was 1976. The air over Karachi was thick with sea, breeze, and dreams. In a small, crowded neighborhood, a young boy named Sikandar Bakht would spend his evenings hurling a worn-out cricket ball at a cracked wall, pretending it was the wicket of an international match. There was nothing fancy about his beginnings, no elite coaching, no access to modern facilities, not even a proper cricket ground. Just passion, pure, raw passion. Born on 25 August 1957, Sikandar Bakht grew up in a modest family where ambition often collided with reality. But in his heart, there was a burning fire too, where the green cap of Pakistan. Every delivery he bowled, every bead of sweat that fell, was a silent promise to himself. One day, I'll play for my country. In those days, Pakistan's cricketing landscape was dominated by giants Simran Khan, Sarfraz, Nawaz, and others. For a young Karachi boy to dream of breaking into that league was almost unthinkable. Yet Sikandar refused to bow down to the odds. Every failure on the dusty pitches of Karachi became fuel for his resolve. People laughed, saying he's too skinny to be a fast bowler. But Sikandar knew that speed was born not in the arms, but in the heart. He practiced relentlessly. Hours turned into days, days into years. While others rested, he bowled. When his friends left to find jobs, he stayed behind on the ground, chasing a dream no one else could see. There were moments of despair, 2 injuries, rejections, the suffocating pressure of survival, but each time life tried to slow him down, Sikandar ran harder, bowled faster, dreamed louder, and then came the day that changed everything. In 1976, Pakistan selectors were searching for a fresh pace bowler, someone who could surprise batsmen with movement and aggression. That's when they spotted Sikandar, determined and fearless. His first call-up came as a shock even to him. He wasn't supposed to be there, but destiny had other plans. When he wore the Pakistan blazer for the first time, he didn't smile. He simply looked up, whispered a prayer, and promised himself one thing: I will make every delivery count. He was about to enter a battlefield that would test not just his body, but his spirit. It was the winter of 1979 in Delhi. The sun hung lazily over the Feroz Shah Kotla ground, and the pitch looked flat, lifeless, unthreatening. But for Sikandar Bakht, it was a stage set for destiny. He wasn't supposed to dominate that day. India's batting lineup was full of giants, Gavaskar, Viswanuth, names that terrified even the best bowlers. But when Sikandar marked his run-up, there was a strange calm in his eyes. He took the new ball. The seam gleamed under the sunlight. The crowd roared for India, but Sikandar's heartbeat was louder. His first few overs were fiery, quick, accurate, relentless. And then, it happened. A ball pitched on middle, seamed away, kissing the edge of the bat, caught behind. The crowd went silent. The scoreboard changed, and Pakistan's players surrounded Sikandar. He had drawn first blood. But that was just the beginning. Over the next few hours, Sikandar tore through India's batting order like a storm sweeping through dry fields. Every delivery had venom. Every wicket carried emotion. His rhythm was pure poetry, fast, fierce, and full of belief. By the end of the innings, he had taken 8 wickets for just 69 runs. Delhi stood silent. The same crowd that cheered against him now stared in disbelief. For a young man who once practiced with torn shoes on dusty Karachi grounds, this was more than victory. It was redemption. Pakistan won hearts that day, and Sikandar Bakht became a name whispered with awe. But success never comes without pain. With recognition came expectations, and expectations brought pressure. The very system that celebrated him also began to forget him. Despite his remarkable spell, he often found himself sidelined, overlooked by selectors, sometimes for reasons beyond cricket. He didn't complain. He simply kept working, waiting for his next chance. And it came again, this time against England in Karachi. Sikandar bowled a vicious spell that shattered English batsmen's confidence and literally broke the arm of their captain, Mike Burley. That moment symbolized his ferocity, raw, fearless, and untamed. But in the harsh politics of cricket, talent is not always enough. Injuries, internal rivalries, and inconsistent selections often stole from him what his performance had earned. Sikandar's spirit, however, never broke. Each time he was dropped, he trained harder. Each time he was forgotten, he reminded the world with the ball in hand who he was. That was the essence of Sikandar Bakht. A storm that refused to die, even when the world pretended it had passed. By the early 1980s, Sikandar Bakht had become a name every cricket fan in Pakistan knew, not for fame or glamour, but for sheer determination. He wasn't the star who smiled for the cameras. He was the fighter who spoke through his deliveries. His bowling was not just fast, it was emotional. Each over was a reminder of where he came from and what he stood for. His consistency earned him respect in the dressing room. Even greats like Imran Khan acknowledge his discipline and spirit, but Sikandar's journey was not smooth. Injuries haunted him, selections came and went, yet every time he stepped on the field, he made the world notice. His spells were sharp, unpredictable, and fearless, the kind of bowling that made batsmen doubt their own timing. In Karachi, against England, he produced one of the most memorable spells of his life. His bouncer struck England's captain Mike Brearley, breaking his arm. A moment that sent shockwaves across cricket circles. It wasn't just about aggression, it was about impact. Sikandar bowled with heart, not hatred. Every delivery carried the weight of a boy who once dreamt on Karachi's cracked streets. But even as he gave everything for Pakistan, fate often gave little in return. He was dropped several times despite good performances. The emergence of younger bowlers and the politics of cricket administration made things even harder. Yet Sikandar never turned bitter. He accepted every setback as part of his story. In domestic cricket, he was unstoppable, representing Pia, United Bank, and Sindh. He took hundreds of wickets and became a mentor for younger players. Many budding cricketers of the 80s recall how Sikandar would spend hours teaching them the art of seam and swing, telling them the ball listens only to the one who respects it. His love for the game was bigger than his ego, and perhaps that's what made him special. He wasn't chasing fame, he was protecting a passion. He wasn't trying to be remembered, he just wanted to serve the game that gave him an identity. His best test figures of 8 for 69 against India remained among Pakistan's finest bowling performances. Even today, old fans still talk about that Delhi test with pride, where Sikandar turned silence into shock and shock into history. But as his playing years began to fade, one question lingered: would the world remember Sikandar Bakht, or would he become another forgotten name in cricket's long list of unsung heroes? Time went on, but the impact of Sikandar Bakht never faded. He was not just a bowler, he was an era, a living reminder of the time when cricket was more than a game. It was about pride, passion, and honor. Even today, when a young fast bowler runs up to deliver the ball, somewhere inside him, the spirit of Sikandar Bakht whispers, never give up. Even if the world forgets you, stay true to your hard work. After retirement, Sikandar Bakht never distanced himself from cricket. He reappeared on television as a fearless analyst, a man unafraid to speak the truth. Whether it was about a player's performance or the board's policies, Sikandar always said what his conscience believed was right. That honesty became his identity. People would say, he's the one who speaks the truth, no matter the cost. But perhaps the most touching moment came when a young fast bowler approached him and said, "Sir, I learned to bowl by watching your videos. You are my hero." Sikandar Bakht smiled. A smile that carried victory over every struggle, every failure, every pain. His life is a lesson. If fate stands against you, determination will still lead you to victory. If the world forgets you, your character will keep you alive. And if you work with all your heart, your name will never fade. It will be engraved in the pages of time. Even today, when the old players speak of him, they use just one word: fighter. The bowler who put pride into every delivery, the analyst who put truth into every word, and the man who proved that greatness is built not by records, but by character. Sikandar Bakht's story teaches us that the real magic of life begins when you believe in your dreams, even when no one else does. He may have left the field, but his spirit still runs through the veins of every young Pakistani fast bowler. With one resounding call: take your run up, ignite your passion, because this is Pakistan, and we were not born to lose.